Okay, so I've got Instagram and Facebook. All right. Good morning, you guys. I was originally going to do this live in a private Facebook group, but I decided I would just do it publicly on Instagram and on Facebook. And so apologies if I can't answer your questions because I'm kind of watching both places, and sometimes it doesn't show up for me in real time. I don't know why, but anyway, my friend and I are here, and we're going to talk to you about some basics about essential oils. What are they? Where do they come from? How do you use them? How do you know if they're good? Things like that. So let's begin first by, if you have questions, you can post them in the comments for Instagram or for Facebook, and I will try my best to get to them if I see them, okay? So what are essential oils? They are aromatic compounds that are isolated from plants, and they can come from the leaves, the roots, the shoots, the flowers, the fruit. And all of them are steam distilled. So that means that the plant part is exposed to steam and the essential oils are extracted from the plant, except for citrus oils, which come from the rind. So one of the questions I get a lot is, if I add lemon oil to my water, am I getting like the acid? And the answer is no, because the citrus oils don't come from the actual fruit themselves. It comes from the rind. So if you took an orange and you squeeze the orange, you see this little squirt coming out. That's the essential oil. And they are present in plants in various different cell types. So some of them, are a little bit harder to extract, and some are not as hard. So I told you the citrus, you just kind of bend the rind and they squirt out. Another example of one that's like pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Easy to access is the mints. So if you take the mints and you rub the mints between your fingers, and then you can smell the peppermint or the spearmint oils, because they're in the leaves and these little hairs called trichomes, okay? So they are in the plants. They come from, what's my training? I'm in aromatherapy school with the the Aromatic Institute in New York. So I'm not quite finished, but I'm very close. And I also have 2 master's degrees in plant biology. So I'm a plant scientist. Thank you for asking that. Hi, Erica. How are you? Anyway, so that's where the essential oils come from. In the plants, they serve a variety of different functions, things, in the actual plants themselves. They have antimicrobial, antifungal, lots of protective properties. They also work attracting pollinators. So one of the essential oil groups that a lot of us know about are the floral oils. They come from the flowers, and they serve a purpose to attract pollinators, and also to protect the flowers, because those are some of the most tender areas. It takes a lot of plant material to create an essential oil. In a 10 mil roller of rose, you might have 250,000 rose petals. So depending on the product and the essential oil, you can have to use like tons and tons, or maybe not quite as much, but for the most part, it's usually a lot of plant material, which is why if they're good essential oils, they cost a lot of money. It's not like you take one rose and from that one rose you can make a bottle of rose oil. It takes a lot. And that's a really important thing to consider when you're buying essential oils, because if it takes so much plant material, are the plants being harvested sustainably? In the essential oil industry, one of the significant concerns is that most of the essential oils are purchased for companies across the board through brokers. And these are people who take the essential oils from the people on the ground, wherever they are, primarily in developing countries, and then sell them at an inflated cost to companies all over the world. And so the people who are actually on the ground doing the work, don't get paid. A lot of times they're treated really poorly. They can be harmed. It can be sort of a dangerous situation for them. And the plants are often not treated in a sustainable way. And one of the most sort of well-known examples of this, if you kind of Google essential oils and sustainability, is frankincense. Because frankincense grows primarily in one place in Africa, Somaliland, and then there's a little bit also in Oman, but most of it comes from one location. And the lion's share of the frankincense that comes from Somaliland is sourced to the essential oils companies around the world through brokers. And so the plants aren't sustainably harvested, and there's been some concern that the frankincense trees are not going to last for a long time. So one of the things that's really important when you're buying essential oils is to know how the plants are sourced, and also that they're sustainably sourced, so that the people on the ground and the plants are treated well. So that's really, really an important consideration. And most companies don't have transparency around that. So just something to be aware of. The other thing is, because they take so much plant material and because they're so expensive to produce, about 80% of the essential oils you can get on the market are adulterated in some way. And a really good example of that is lavender. So here's lavender. Lavender is one of the most widely recognized essential oils because it's in so many things. I mean, if you go to get like baby products or skincare products at the grocery store, or CVS or some, just regular little shop, a lot of the skincare products and even like cleaning products, like I have 7th generation dish soap, and one of the versions of it has lavender in it. So it's in like tons and tons of things. And Anita on Facebook just said, my dog is passed out, and she's hilarious. So dogs are winning quarantine, let's face it. But anyway, so lavender is one of the oils that is most adulterated because it's so familiar to so many of us. We have an idea in our mind of how lavender smells. And so companies that don't want to have to go through the process of having purity and paying the cost of having a pure oil will add fragrance and other similar compounds to their lavender. So there was recently a study done, and it showed something along the lines of 80 to 85% of all the bottles of lavender are adulterated. Fragrance, synthetics, carrier oils, so those are seed and nut oils, not essential oils, are added to fill the volume and to sort of enhance the fragrance, the aroma of the oils. So you want to make sure, so there we go, we've got a couple things that you want to keep in mind about the oils that you're buying. One is you want to make sure that they're sustainably produced, that the people who are producing them on the ground are taken care of, and it's not it's not really any different than thinking like, am I going to go buy clothes that were made by child labor, or am I going to go get clothes that are ethically made? It's like the same kind of decisions. And also you want to make sure that the oils that you're using are pure, so that they're not, there's nothing in them that's not what it says it is. So, we were talking about lavender, and someone commented about how chill my dog is. And one of the most common questions I get is, can you use oils with your pets? And that's, a topic for a whole nother class. But I will just say that I do use lavender, and I use a blend called Serenity with my friend here, who seems super, super chilled out and is dreaming. You can see her eyes moving, but she gets stressed out with windstorms, thunderstorms, and anytime there's like loud car noises, because she was a rescue, and one of her first adventures was coming to our house from Tennessee. And so I actually use oils. I put them on my hands, hold them near her nose so she can smell them. And with lavender, I rub a little bit behind her ears and put it sometimes on the blanket she's laying on. But I would only use oils that I know are pure. And it's really an important consideration for pets, just like it is for us. So buying oils willy-nilly, not that we're doing this now, we can't go out, but if you buy them at, the pharmacy or at like a big box store, or I know tons of people who will go to, discount stores where they sell like packs of like a diffuser and like 50 oils. A lot of times those are not super great, which is why they're really inexpensive. If you see a bottle of frankincense that's like $10 to $20, then usually you know that it's probably not straight frankincense. And so you just want to be really careful, and it's particularly true for your pets, if you're going to be diffusing them around your pets, for your kids, and also for you, okay? So just a reminder that when you use your oils, they're going into your cells, whether you are taking them in through smelling, topically, or internally. And so you want to be really mindful of what you're using. Okay, so we've kind of done the what are they, what are some important considerations. Not all oils are created the same. And so now let's talk about how is it that we use oils. So you can use them 3 ways: topically on your skin, aromatically, where you're breathing them in through your nose, and then the third way is internal. So let's talk about each one separately. Sorry, I feel like this is really close to me. Okay. So the most common way that people use oils, and usually I would say would be like the most comfy way for most people and is the gateway to using them, is through aromatic use. And aromatic use is when you smell the oils. So this is aromatherapy, right? You have olfactory centers in your nose which go up and speak to the emotional centers in your brain. And it actually is the most effective way to use essential oils. So if you're someone who's like, I'm nervous about putting them on my skin, or I don't know about internal use, I think I just want to smell them, don't ever feel like you're doing a lesser choice or that it's not the full McCoy, because it's actually the most effective way to use them. And so you can use oils aromatically a variety of different ways, but the most common that people do today is using a diffuser. So this is not plugged in. This is one of my diffusers. And diffusers usually combine water and the oils, and they create a mist that comes out. And I don't have a plug here, so I can't show you. But so they have a mist, and it goes around in your room or your car, or wherever the space is that you're using it, and you inhale the oil. So you get like this combination of like this like lovely fragrance, but you also get the biochemical constituents and the supportive qualities of the oil as well, just through inhaling them. You can also do putting them on your hands and smelling. She just kicked me. Diffuser jewelry. You can make room sprays. You can put them on your pillow before you go to bed if you were looking for like calming, soothing, sleeping type things. So there's a multitude of ways that you can use oils aromatically. I told you that I hold them sometimes in front of her nose if she's stressed out, or I'll put a little bit on her blanket so she can, she kind of smells it. Or I diffuse them from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed. I'm diffusing some combination of oils. So that's aromatic use, and it's the way that I think that most people kind of get started using essential oils. It doesn't feel as scary, and like I said, it's super effective. The other thing about aromatic use is I would say that probably somewhere around the like 70 to 80% of the scientific studies on essential oils are focused on aromatic use. So if you're looking for peer-reviewed, evidence-based studies that show the effect of essential oils, most of those are aromatic use, and they talk about emotional support, okay? The second way to use oils is topically on your skin. And, some caveats with that. Not all oils are super topically. Some you really, really need to dilute. And some you have to be careful. If they're citrus oils, you have to be careful because they can make you really sensitive to the sun. My personal belief is that when you are applying oils topically, they should be diluted no matter who you are. Some people can use all oils, and put them on topically and have no issues, but I'm a big fan of safety. So generally the rule of thumb for healthy, not immune compromised, not children, not pregnant, not breastfeeding, not if you're like the average healthy adult, is somewhere in the 1 drop of essential oil to 1 to 2 tablespoons of carrier oil. And carrier oils, like I said before, are nut and seed oils. And these are oils that slow the process of the essential oil getting into your skin. So once they get into your skin, they can pass through the cell membrane and travel throughout the body. If you're using oils topically, where do you use them? You use them where you need them. So if you're having digestive stuff and you want digestive support, you would put them on your belly. If you're having respiratory stuff and you want, you put on your chest. If you're having head and neck tension, you put maybe on the back of your neck. You can put them on your wrist, smell for aromatic. I have a blend on my wrist right now that I use. You can put them on the bottoms of your feet. That's the toughest skin. And so I usually recommend for people, if you're getting started with an oil and you're not sure if your skin is going to be sensitive to it, like I have super sensitive skin, start with the bottoms of your feet. Really tough skin. It's away from your face. I don't recommend using a lot of oils in your hair unless you know that they don't bother you first. So some people like to add them to their shampoo, put them on their hair. Like I actually like putting lavender on my hair. It helps like defrizz my hair, but I already know that it doesn't bother my skin. When you have things in your hair, it gets around your face, and your face tends to be the most sensitive skin of all. So be mindful of putting oils on your face, just sort of generally across the board. But bottoms over your feet are a great way to start using the oils. The other thing is you can go on Pinterest or Google reflexology charts for your hands and feet. And if you have something going on and you want to use oils for something specific, you can look for the locations on your hands and your feet, the reflexology locations, and apply oils in those locations. So say, for example, you're having digestive stuff going on and you want to put oils for your large, small intestine, your belly, you can look at where those places are in your feet and apply the appropriate oils that you want to use for that on your feet for the reflexology locations for those digestive areas. So there's lots of different ways to use the oils topically. Okay, so that's aromatic, smelling. Topically, putting them on your skin. There are some oils that always need to be diluted, and those are considered hot oils. And usually you can tell that they're hot by how they smell. So these are things like black pepper, cinnamon bark, oregano always need to be diluted. A lot of people are talking about oregano right now, oregano oil. It is a hot oil, so make sure you're diluting it. Like I said, 1 drop of essential oil into 1 to 2 tablespoons of carrier oil. And a carrier oil could be coconut oil. You can use the solid coconut oil, but it's very greasy. So fractionated coconut oil is a little bit better. Jojoba, even olive oil in a pinch, okay? The last way to use the oils is to use them internally. And you can do that by putting them under your tongue, pressing them to the roof of your mouth, cooking with them, and putting them in drinks, things like that. Very important though. So we already talked about how so many essential oils are adulterated with fragrance, with carrier oils, with synthetics. Your skin is your largest organ, so obviously very important if you're putting it on your skin, you want to have pure oils. If you're diffusing, it goes right up to your brain. So you want to make sure you're using pure oils. And if you're taking them internally, it's extremely important that the oils that you're using, are pure and good. So I don't recommend internal use with most brands. I think that it's a very controversial topic, I will say. There are schools of aromatherapy that are A-okay with it, and there are schools of aromatherapy that aren't. So for me, I always present it as a personal choice for you, but you need to do it safely, okay? And one of the things to consider when you're using oils internally is you don't use plastic, use glass, stainless, or ceramic, okay? So if you're cooking, you just wanna make sure that you're not using that, because even if it is, say, like an Nalgene that you got at REI and it's BPA free, the essential oils can leach out chemicals. So just make sure that when you're doing internal use of oils, you use glass or stainless is usually, stainless water and not plastic, okay? All right, so we've talked about what are oils, we've talked about how to use them, and we've talked about what are some important considerations when you're getting them. They are everywhere now, and you have to be really discerning about what you get. So it's no different than, say, for example, if you're buying a jacket, like a fleece jacket. I would buy a fleece jacket from Patagonia because I know that they source eco. They some of their clothes are actually recycled. The company gives back. Like, you take into consideration. Sorry, my dog is like pushing me with her paw. Oh, that's hot. Anyway, so I personally, after, I don't know, probably close to 35 years of using oils, I've used them for about that long. I only use one brand, and that brand is doTERRA, which are the ones that I've shown you. And the reason why is because the company is completely steeped in ethics and sustainability. Every bottle of oil is sourced in a way that is sustainable with the environment in mind. In fact, if an oil that we have, even if it's like the most beloved oil, becomes unsustainable to source, the company will no longer make it available. So I trust the sustainability. The people who grow, distill, harvest the oils are treated differently. We don't use oil brokers. We work one-on-one with the people on the ground. And so that's really important to me. I want to make sure that people are getting paid ethical wages. We have microloans. We build schools and hospitals, and they're guaranteed pure. So if you look on the bottom of the bottle, hopefully you can see that, they have a number, a lot number, and you can actually go online, put the number into a third party's website, and see the biochemical makeup of the oils. So why is that important, and what does that mean? One, it means that sometimes our oils are more expensive. Just like Patagonia is more expensive than buying a fleece, at some random huge giant store where they have 50,000. But discerning about what I'm putting into my body, into my home, letting my dog smell. And it means that for what I'm paying for is supporting people beyond my own health and wellness. So I know that in this little bottle, I'm supporting myself and my dog and my family, and then also the people on the other side of the production who have created these oils. And that's really, really important to me. So doTERRA is a company that is designed for you to purchase from people like me and other wellness advocates. And the reason why the company runs this way is so that you are supported through education, and you don't just buy your oils and not know what to do. So many years ago, I got oils, had no idea what to do with them besides the one or two that I was using regularly, and they sat underneath my sink and I never used them. And so that's something that is super important to me that people don't do. I want you to get your oils and know how to use them. And in fact, tonight I'm doing a call for my customers and my team about like how to use your oils, what are some recipes, so that you buy them and you use them. The other thing is you don't need to use a lot. So if you have pure oils, you don't have to use as many. So when you invest in getting them, they last longer. And you can use them for a greater period of time because a little goes a long way. So 1 drop of peppermint oil, for example, is somewhere in the range of is equal to about 24 to 28 cups of peppermint tea. So that's like pretty substantial, okay? And to get oils, you get them from a wellness advocate like myself. And doTERRA has this amazing system where you can get wholesale pricing, 25% off everything for a whole year. No requirement to buy more, no requirement to sell, no requirement to buy monthly. And you're not, at the end of a year, you're not automatically charged again like you would be if you signed up for like a gym membership, unless you're continuing to purchase oils. And you can do that one of two ways. One is you pay $35 and create a collection of oils that are perfect for you, sort of like a curated custom collection. I recommend this option if you have very specific things you want, like if you want sandalwood and patchouli and citrus bliss and, very specific. Alternatively, you can get a collection that's curated by the company, and those waive the $35. They're usually the most popular and beloved oils, things like lavender and On Guard, our immune support blend, and peppermint, lemon, and so on. And those waive the $35, and they also give you a discount because they're bundled together. So those two choices are a great way if you want to get started with oils. And I have a lot of people who've been interested in doing that lately because we're home and they're looking for emotional support from the oils, and they have helped me so much. They're looking for health and wellness support from the oils, and this is a great time to get started. So if you have any questions, let me know. This was like a super general overview, but if you like this and you have a topic you want me to cover, let me know and I will do that. And I hope you guys are well. Please let me know if you have any questions. All right. Okay. I'll talk to you later. Bye.